Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a sketch of a foot, and we are exploring the anatomy of the foot, but from a particular angle or placement. So let's get our foot down on it. So please use very thin strokes. We have placed that one a little too much in the middle because we want to explore two different options here at least. So we have one line. So let's place this line like this first, and then let's just put down a box somewhere along those lines. So it looks like a cleaver right now, sort of. If this was a handle, this would be a cleaver. So let's put down another cleaver. So straight line. We do not necessarily need to make these two lines. One line is enough. And then we go and place that cleaver somewhere here. Now we're going to work around this. So this is the shin, and what we're doing first is placing the foot on its toes. So it's just like a ballerina sort of thing, but not necessarily a ballerina thing, because it could be a runner sprinting and the foot assuming that posture. So there is the heel right there. Depending on how fleshy the foot is, how thick it is, all the details will come together. Now from this angle we could also, that is the toe. So the way to do this is, again, as we do with the fingers, we do sausages, and then we come and put the details around those sausages to make them finger-like. So same detail here, smaller sausages, 1 and 2, and then we can work the details around where it's supposed to be a little thinner, depending on the foot that we are modeling the sketch on. And then let's put in some hefty skin here around the heel, perhaps some veins here if we need to, and if we see it from a slightly different angle, we could even place another toe in there, and even a part of the third toe. It'll just look a little more dynamic. There's a nail, there's the toe lines, and then of course the toe lines around the toes, and all sorts of details depending on what we are doing with this. And then this foot, same thing. Let's imagine that this foot is now, assume the position by the shin going forward and then pressing everything backward, and this remaining where it is. So we could start with that again. So put in 1 and 2. So 2 sausages right there for the second toe. And then of course we intend to put it right where it was, but then we are bringing everything else quite forward, and what we're doing is coming right out and going into the shin. Now if we strayed away from there a little bit, that's fine. We make changes as we go along. So this curve, definitely important. So sort of like a very outstretched S, and then we can put in the toe details, and a lot of curvature going in this one because everything has been pushed forward, and there's the very well rounded up heel going back into the calf. well, it will go into the calf. There's still ways to go. The calf is here somewhere, but that is fine. And we can put in the nail. Again, part of the other toe can show depending on the angle, depending on the view. And then of course we have all those essential skin folds. We still have that heel there. Some striations and some vein structure here can also help, and some skin folds as well. So that is 2 angles of placement there. Now if we have a light source right from above, we do know that right around the rounder parts we will have a tone. We will have tones right around the skin folds. We will have tones right around the raised areas like the heels, and slighter tones as we go toward the light source, or as the features become more flat. These are things that sometimes many of us take for granted, and they are like a genius of creation, intended to do wondrous things. And we see this when there's day-to-day work going on, but we see this most, I guess it's illustrated best when our athletes are at work. And as we mentioned here at the beginning, so the shadow falls right here because now the foot has moved and there's a cast shadow for sure in that area. It might not be as dark, it depends, but we are just doing a bit of exaggeration there to highlight the point that there will be a shadow going in. Alright, so there we have it. So we started off there with the weight starting to come down on the toes and then shifting this way, like carrying the body forward and putting the weight on that toe. So yeah, sort of a sprinting action, but it could be a ballerina thing where the toes do a lot of the work. So please do check it out. Essential anatomy exercise. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.